Reviewing old trailers. Welcome back to the worst series on YouTube. On this episode of Rot, we're reviewing the old 1960 Psycho trailer. Now, this is a very different trailer to the ones we're usually analysing. It's a 6.5 minute video of Alfred Hitchcock giving us a tour of the set of Psycho, whilst explaining bits and pieces of the story and what events have transpired here at this location.
It has now become known as the scene of the crime.
So there's no footage of the actual film. It's a completely different kind of advertisement for a movie.
His hobby, as you see, was taxidermy. Crow here, an owl there.
Anyway, so before we get into this trailer, I did a bit of background research that I just want to quickly delve into. So when Alfred Hitchcock made Psycho, he was hot off the success of North by Northwest and Vertigo. He was a household name as a movie director, probably the biggest film director at the time. Just hot shit, basically. He was the one to make all of the event movies, all the big blockbusters. It's based off a book which I think was released around the same time as the film, like 1960 even, and Hitchcock quickly bought the rights to the book, I think. He had the rights to the book and he pitched the story to Paramount. Paramount's initial stance was that the book was too repulsive and impossible for films. They just wanted him to make another star-studded blockbuster. They didn't provide Hitchcock with the usual budget for Psycho, and because they were so against the film, Hitchcock just said he'd go about it cheaply and quickly. He used his crew from his television series Alfred Hitchcock Presents to keep costs down, and he was also much more comfortable and familiar with that crew. Hitchcock also decided to shoot the film in black and white to keep costs down. Another key reason why he decided the film would be black and white was to prevent the shower scene from being too gory. Apparently the total budget for the film was just over $800,000. When Psycho was released in theatres, it got mixed reviews because it was very controversial at the time, but audiences everywhere loved it, and it says right here that the box office returns were outstanding. It literally says outstanding on the amazing Wikipedia. Well, you know, I don't know how reliable any of this is anyway. It's all written up by the lizard shapeshifters. It set a new level of acceptability for violence, sexuality, and deviant behaviour in American films. It's widely considered to be the very first slasher film, at least the genesis of the genre. That image of the unseen killer with the knife is just completely ingrained into Western culture. It was just coming off the recent erosion of the production code in the mid to late 50s. The production code essentially dictated what could and could not be shown in a movie. It was initially put in place in the early 30s. It was catering to the Western Catholic ideology of early 20th century America. The power of the code slowly diminished as the decades went by, and by the 60s much more daring movies started to get made, and Psycho was a prime example of one of these daring movies. It was unprecedented in its depiction of sexuality and violence. You've got the sexual vulnerability of Marion, partnered with the peephole that Norman Bates looks through, just deviant pervert behaviour. Janet Leigh's prominently seen in her bikini. The shower scene itself was very gory for the time. I mean, it's completely fucking awesome. Would have been so cool to see that for like one of those sort of things for the first time in a movie. But everyone loved it. It was a film that broke boundaries, showed more extreme stuff than what people were used to, and it was great. The themes and subject matter that the film tackles, the depiction of a psychopath. Also, this is a very film school kind of factoid, but I might as well mention it. It was the first ever movie to show a toilet on screen. I mean, let alone just a toilet flushing. A shot of a toilet flushing. First film ever to do that. Groundbreaking. Anyway, that's enough fun and cool facts for now. We'll just get on with reviewing the trailer.
Good afternoon.
So just initial things, because I've watched this trailer multiple times to prepare for the review. I love the fact that it's not a montage, another montage of the movie, because this series focuses on trailers. I'm going to be looking at a lot of trailers. I'm going to get sick of the whole cuts of different bits of the movie. This is so different, so unique. It makes for an exciting, distinct review, an exciting, distinct video, hopefully.
Of course, the victim, or should I say victims, hadn't any conception as to the type of people they would be confronted with in this house.
It's a good variation from the usual formula. Just starts with opening text saying, "Here, the fabulous Alfred Hitchcock gonna take you on an adventure." Again, no footage of the movie, just Alfred Hitchcock giving you the house tour.
I think we can go inside because the place is up for sale. Although I don't know who's going to buy it now.
Bringing in all of that context about how the film was made on a small budget, it also gives this trailer that personal feel, this simple, earnest advert for this movie that a small group of people intimately made. That makes it sound sexual, but you know, it was an intimate film crew, and that they can always make nice personal... Oh, shut. It was the first YouTube house tour. I have that written down. Is that funny? He first goes up and shows us Norman's mother's house. Another cool factoid I've got written here for you about the house is that the look of it was modelled off Edward Hopper's painting The House by the Railroad, which will be displayed here for context. And I looked at it beforehand, and yeah, it was. So don't fucking dispute me on that in the comments, you fucking idiots.
The victim tumbled and fell with a horrible crash. I think the back broke immediately and hit the floor.
This trailer's great. It has an inherent entertainment value on its own. It's got footage that's exclusive from the film. It's charming. I'm trying to be authentic, but it is just charming. And I know that's a word that's thrown around a lot. It's literally a filmmaker who's passionately trying to get you into this movie he's made, this story he's made for you. He's trying to, nothing egotistical, which could have happened with this sort of thing. His immersion and his faith in the story he's created helps you get immersed. You just see the passion for filmmaking all the way through. Anyone should watch this. It's just a really endearing video. I wouldn't even call it a trailer.
Well, they cleaned all this up now. Big difference. You should have seen the blood.
Throughout the trailer, he has this warm, goofy demeanour like he's telling children a story, and it does play like that.
That's where the woman was first seen. Let's go inside.
When you watch like an expert child storyteller, as in a person who does stories for children like Michael Rosen or someone, they're so charismatic and animated, and you almost become a child yourself and get immersed in what they're telling you, the story they're conveying to you.
She looked like she had never seen anything quite so horrible in all her life.
Especially the woman. She was the weirdest and the most... Well, let's go into her bedroom.
It's a simplistic version of storytelling. That's the first thing it reminds me of. It's like telling a group of children sat down a spooky, scary story. Because it is a spooky, scary story. You get a sense that he's excited for you to see the film, his labour of love.
Now, an important scene took place in this room. There was a private supper here.
It is also just funny.
Bathroom.
Kind of awkward.
I think some of her clothes are still in this wardrobe.
He does this thing where he's like, oh, something really fucking gnarly happened here. And then he goes, oh, but I better not tell you. And that's done to not give too much information away about the film. But also, it happens so often throughout the trailer that it is just funny. Like, he just forgets.
She was the weirdest and the most... Well, let's go into her bedroom. It's difficult to describe the way that the twisting of the was enough to drive anyone to the extreme of well, let's go in. Well, I won't dwell upon it. It has great significance because the whole place was, well, it's too horrible to describe. Dreadful.
Oh, you see this glass? This was laced with... Oh, better not tell you, actually. Better leave it to the imagination. I mean, it's good to leave it to the imagination, and I didn't want him to reveal anything with this trailer, so it's good that he stayed away. It's just funny.
Twisting of the well,
And again, that's another positive. Doesn't give anything away, this trailer, so perfect in that regard, and it does get you intrigued about this movie. It also probably couldn't have worked without Alfred Hitchcock being like a A-list star of a film director, and you don't get many A-list film directors these days. But I was thinking I would like to see more of these, because they're just so much better than another montage of a trailer with cool popular music playing over it. Quentin Tarantino could definitely do this. This is right up his alley of like old-timey shit. He could do this because he's enthusiastic. I mean, that would be very egotistical because he's a very egotistical guy, but for people who like his movies, it would work really well for the trailers. You have fucking Wes Anderson, he could be like, "Hi, I'm a little pussy boy. Ooh, it's all symmetrical. Made the same film 8 times." That's an oversimplification, I know, but, you know, you could just imagine, "Hi guys, thanks for the little indie boys who turned up to this one. I'm gonna just sit there, play a guitar. We're gonna go through this quite adventure. Everyone's got silly hats." Then Zack Snyder's there, he's like, "I'm gonna give you a tour of the set," and it zooms out, it's just a big fucking green screen square he's in. He's like, "Right beside me is where an alien spaceship is gonna land. But you can't see it yet. But trust me, it'll be there, and it's going to look fucking great." Here's Jason Momoa's bicep. He's not going to be in this one, actually. We don't have him down for the contract. I just wanted to show Jason Momoa's bicep, because he's a hunky dude.
A little more sinister looking, less innocent than the motel itself.
The whole thing does feel like, oh, come on, let's just get this trailer made. Come on, if we forgot to do the advert, we have to do one of those as well. Okay, Hitchcock's like, "Oh, well, I can do my thing," and he goes, "Oh, no." Suave British guy, playing into the hamminess of his film style. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Even if you haven't seen Psycho, it's just a really nice little... It's not just nostalgia, you just fucking, because it's black and white, you think it's cool. No, it's genuine. He's just so happy to be sharing this story with you. So, listing up all of the qualities before the camera battery runs out: exclusive content, its own solo inherent entertainment value. It's probably up here, it's probably written here more eloquently. Doesn't give anything away. Charming, endearing, just gets you enthused about film as a film buff, film geek. Yes! It's unique to any other trailer I've ever seen, and maybe this was generic by 90 standards, but I don't think so. It just goes all over the iconic rooms of the film. He's like, "Oh, it's going to get mangled." Oh, it's not, actually. I'm not going to tell you what happens.
She was the weirdest and the most...
Weirdest bitch alive. Fucking started strangling me during sex. This is supposed to be film review. Stop being all laddish and fucking making everything about sex. Yeah, there's a peephole behind, there's a fucking glory hole behind this painting. You can't find that until you watch the film.
The murderer, you see, crept in here.
And he ends in the bathroom, which of course is the most iconic room in all of rooms, in fucking cinematic rooms and all that. And then... and there you have a very reasonable reaction to being interrupted in the shower by Alfred Hitchcock. So, it's been a good episode of reviewing old trailers. Please keep recommending different suggestions. This is the best trailer. This is above Alien. There should be a rank. I'm keeping a rank. I'm keeping track of it. I can't remember it off by heart, but it's Alien and this one are the two best trailers, but this is just the best because it's not a montage of the film, and that's cool. That's different. It's a really good video. I would have enjoyed this even if I didn't have to get all analytical and review it and get all bouncy for a video. It's a delight to watch. Everyone should check it out if they've got 6 minutes. It's a weird thing to recommend people to go watch a trailer. I mean, film reviewers were supposed to fucking just say, "Hey, check this film out." That's normal. Just imagine going up to someone in a conversation being like, "Check this trailer out. You'll get a good kick out of that one." This is what this fucking stupid channel is. Just minute crap. It's been Bacho. It's been an honour. And it's epic, and thanks, and the end of the video is now. How do I turn it off?